When was breaking the rules the only right choice you ever made? 8 months ago, I surrendered my paramedic license at a disciplinary hearing for something I didn't do. 3 weeks ago, I used everything that license taught me anyway, knowing it could end any chance of getting it back. Quick background. Last year, controlled medications went missing from my ambulance during a chaotic overnight shift. 2 of us had access. My partner said it wasn't him. I said it wasn't me. He'd been there 11 years. I'd been there 3. You can guess how that went. The state board suspended me pending a full investigation, and the conditions were brutal and specific. No practicing, no representing myself as a medic, no medical intervention beyond what any bystander could legally do. My union rep put it bluntly. If you so much as take a blood pressure in public and it gets reported, you're done forever. Be a civilian. Be invisible. So I became invisible. I stocked shelves at a hardware store. I stopped wearing anything with the old logo. When my daughter Lena, she's 6, scraped her knee at the playground and a mom shouted, "Is anyone a nurse or medic?" I stood there with my hands in my pockets and let a dental receptionist do the bandaging. I drove home gripping the wheel so hard my knuckles ached. My wife found me sitting in the garage that night and I told her the truth. The suspension didn't just take my job. It took the one thing I knew, without doubt, that I was good at. Then came the Saturday at the apartment pool. It was the first hot weekend of June. Maybe 30 people out there. I was on a lounge chair watching Lena do handstands in the shallow end. The lifeguard was a 19-year-old kid on his second ever shift. I knew because he'd told me proudly 20 minutes earlier. I heard the scream before I understood it. A woman at the deep end, pointing at the water. The lifeguard got a boy out fast. Credit to him. A kid maybe 8 years old who'd gone under near the drain. But when they laid him on the concrete, the kid wasn't coughing, wasn't moving, and the lifeguard froze. Full freeze. Hands hovering, saying, okay, okay, okay to himself. His training visibly falling out of his head under the weight of a real body. Somebody yelled to call 911. Somebody else was already on the phone, and I heard the words that put ice in my spine. Dispatcher says 8 to 10 minutes. 8 minutes. A drowned child does not have 8 minutes. I want to be honest about what went through my head, because it wasn't noble. My first thought was the letter from the board. Any medical intervention will be considered practicing under suspension. I thought about my hearing, scheduled for July. I thought about my mortgage. I actually took a step backward. Then Lena's voice right beside me, small and terrified. "Daddy, why is nobody helping him? There are maybe 5 seconds of my life I'll remember on my deathbed, and those are 5 of them." I crossed the pool deck at a run, told the lifeguard calmly, "I've got him, you count with me." Checked the airway. Started compressions on that little chest, 30 and 2, 30 and 2, saying the numbers out loud so the kid holding the phone could relay it to dispatch. His mother was screaming behind me and someone was holding her back, and I just kept counting. On the 4th cycle, the boy convulsed, vomited pool water across my arm and started to cry. If you've never heard a drowned child start crying, I hope you never have a reason to. It's the best sound on this earth. The ambulance took him to Children's Stable. 2 people at that pool recorded everything on their phones, and one of them knew my story because apartment complexes talk. Within a day, it was reported to the board, officially, in writing, practicing under suspension, witnessed, documented. My union rep called and was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Well, if you're going down, that's the way to do it." My hearing was July 9th. I'd prepared a statement, but I barely got to use it because the boy's mother had petitioned to speak. She stood up in that gray conference room, in front of 5 board members, and said her son was alive because a suspended medic decided her child's 8 minutes mattered more than his own career. Then the lifeguard testified. Then, and this is the part I still can't fully process, my old partner's attorney contacted the board the same week. The investigation had finally traced the missing medications to a falsified log, not mine. Full reinstatement, record cleared. The board chair, off the record, shook my hand. I ran my first shift back last Tuesday. Lena taped a drawing inside my kit. It's me, a pool, and above it, in 6-year-old handwriting, "My dad helps." Yeah, kid, that's the job. That was always the job.